All right. Next, 49. H of x is equal to 3x minus 2 over 5. H of minus 6, wherever I see x, I'm going to take out x and put minus 6. I have 3 times minus 6 minus 2 divided by 5. I have minus what? 18 minus 2 divided by 5. Minus 18 minus 2 is minus 20 divided by 5. Minus 18 minus 2 is minus 20. If the signs are the same, you add and keep the sign. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. 20 divided by 5 is 4. The answer is A, which is minus 4 is the answer. Number 52 says what value of x, the value of x at the point where y is equal to 4x minus x squared intersects y is equal to 0. Now, if you want to find out where two points intersect, you need to solve them simultaneously. Where two lines intersect, we have y is equal to what? 4x minus x squared, and we have y is equal to 0. Now at the point of intersection, the two y's are equal. At point of intersection, y1 is equal to y2. So 4x minus x squared is equal to 0. It's a simple quadratic equation. X is common, you factorize, you get x into 4 minus x is equal to 0. Now you're multiplying two values and you're getting 0. If you're multiplying two numbers and you're getting 0, it is either the first number is 0 or the second number is 0. And you solve both equations to get x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 4. All right, number 50. Somebody messaged me and said that the answer wasn't there. All right. So let me show you why the answer is there. All right. It says the range of f of x is equal to minus x squared for the domain. So let's put up our domain elements. The domain elements are minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Those are my domain elements. Now, let's put up my range elements. Now, to get the domain elements, it's minus x squared. So it's minus 2 squared, which is actually minus 4. Minus 1 squared, which is minus 1. Minus 0 squared, which is still 0. And minus 1 squared, which is minus 1. And minus 2 squared, which is what? Still what? Minus 4. So the only numbers I see in the range are what? Minus 4. You see minus 4 in the range? And what? Minus 1 and what? 0. Minus 1 and minus 4 are repeated. If they're repeated, you don't need to put them again. So you're going to go what? Minus 2 corresponds to minus 4. Minus 1 corresponds to minus 1. 0 corresponds to 0. 1 corresponds to minus 1. And 2 corresponds to minus 4. The only elements in the range are minus 4, minus 1, and 0. If you got this question wrong, do not get it wrong again. 53, the matrix equation for translation is A plus T is equal to A prime. So the translation T would be equal to A prime minus A. We've done this several times. A is 4, 6 minus A prime, which is what? 2, 5. The answer is what? 4 minus 2, which is what? 2. 6 minus 5, which is 1. The answer is B. Number 51, I see people getting stuff like that wrong, which they shouldn't. They shouldn't. 51, we have what? The equation 2x minus 5y minus 8 is equal to 0. And we're asked for the gradient. To find out the gradient, we need to get it in this form. Y is equal to mx plus c. So I need to have y by itself on one side. I'm going to take my minus 5y over to the right to make it positive. We have 2x minus 8 is equal to positive 5y. Negative 5y on the left goes over to the right and become positive. Divide the entire equation by 5. When I do that, now turn it around, I get y is equal to 2 over 5x minus 8 over 5. Once it's in this form, the number in front of x is the gradient. Gradient is over 5. Questions that person should not get wrong, that's one of them. 54 is easy. P is equal to Q, they are alternate angles. Alternate angles is what people normally refer to as what? Z angles. And alternate angles are equal. So P is equal to Q, they are alternate angles. 55, it says a ship sails 8 kilometers east. So the ship starts here. It first sailed 8 kilometers east. East is to the right. 8 kilometers. Then it sail what? 6 kilometers north. It then go up 6 kilometers north. North is going back up. If it at east, north is going up 6. So the journey is represented by C. 8 to the right and what? 6 up. The answer is C. Don't get a question like that wrong again. All right, 56, I see people make mistake with it, even though that they know the theory. The angle Y is actually equal to what? 100 degrees. And the reason for that, this is circle theorem. The angle at the center, which is Y, is 2 times the angle at the circumference. From circle theorem, the angle at the center, Y, is equal to 2 times the angle at the circumference. 58, there are 3 angles in a triangle. 2 of the angles are 2x and x. The third angle must be 180 minus 2x plus x, which is 180 minus 3x. That should be easy. 56, we have done this question to death. If you rotate the line, y is equal to what? X, 90 degrees to the left, 90 degrees to the left, or in an anti-clockwise direction, it's going to become the line y is equal to minus x. 59, theta, the angle at the bottom there is equal to 35 degrees because these 2 angles are alternate angles. So the angle at the top is 35, the angle at the bottom is also 35. The side YZ is opposite, and where 12 is adjacent. The trig ratio that includes opposite and adjacent is tan. So the tangent of 35 is YZ over 12. If I have 1 fraction is equal to 1 fraction, to get rid of the fraction, I cross multiply. 1 times YZ is equal to 12 times the tangent of 35. YZ is equal to 12 tan 35. The answer is. And finally, or number 60, we're asked which trig ratio is equal to 4/8. It's actually two trig ratios that's equal to 4/8. Looking at the diagram, 4 is opposite to x, 8 is the hypotenuse. The trig ratio that includes opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So the sine of x is opposite 4 over hypotenuse 8. 4 is adjacent to y. And 8 is always the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always in front of the right angle. 8 is the hypotenuse. The trig ratio that includes adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So the cosine of y, all right, so I made an error there. Let's fix it. The cosine of y. So that should be y. Let's go blue. The cosine of y is what? Also 4/5. But cosine y is not there. The answer is A sine x.